Like Atlanta's still one of the few places you can go meet the CEO of a Fortune 500.
Yeah.
An entry-level person. You could be having dinner with a check writer, a president. But in New York, they so closed off, and you got to first get past security, like real security.
The real security.
One of the biggest obstacles artists face in the music game is access. Getting access to the people that can make it happen, or access to the information and resources you need to get to the next level. That's the key. That's why you need two of the biggest in the game on your side. Introducing J.R. McKee, Boomman. Welcome to the real industrial plug. You heard me?
I'm not gonna lie, like, college is expensive.
Man.
But I'm gonna tell you this as from a real world experience, everybody listening to me. I pay a lot of money now to meet people.
Yeah.
I pay for masterminds that cost $25,000 just to sit in a room with certain people. You know what I mean? And so it's like, if I'm willing to do that now, if I went back, I would probably be willing to do it again in college to meet these people that are going to be the future leaders of certain businesses.
Oh no, I used to be super mad when I had all that debt. Like, man, I did all this, and then when I thought about it, I was like, well, shit, it's the same as if you paying to go meet somebody anyway. And I actually got a chance to do it again in a sense. Like when I moved to New York, so my order of passion is like music, sports, and fashion. Yeah. So at one point, I thought I was going to do fashion. Yeah. And I went to Parsons for a year.
Now, what is Parsons?
So Parsons is a design school in New York, one of the top schools. Like Marc Jacobs went there, Tom Ford, like a bunch of people.
Oh, wow.
And I went there because they had like this diversity program. They were trying to get more black people in. And I have a pretty extensive background in marketing. Like that's natural to me. Yeah. And so I was going to go for fashion marketing. And I took that opportunity to get an internship at Gucci and Stella McCartney.
Oh, that first, whoa, drop a bomb or something. You had an internship at Gucci. Yeah. Now that's crazy. How much free Gucci they give you?
Nothing. That's the thing. The fashion industry is not like, it's not like the music business. Like if you was working in a streetwear brand, you could go pull some stuff off the rack. Yeah. Nah, not Gucci. Like you were pulling stuff early. And I learned how to pull product to send to artists and things like that. Yeah. But it was a learning experience in that I didn't want to be in fashion. Okay. Like, that wasn't for me. That wasn't my calling. Yeah. So I experienced that. But it helped me develop the relationships in fashion as well and understand all this stuff goes together. Music, sports, fashion. All go together.
Now let me ask you, for the people that's listening that love music and might also love fashion, like what was the blocker? Like what made you say, what were the things that said this isn't for me?
Fashion sells sexy, but it's not sexy. Like that's the thing. The behind the scenes of fashion ain't sexy. Yeah. The behind the scenes of music is sexy.
It's sexy.
That's sexy.
Yeah.
Bro.
By the way, that's why I went with music. The lifestyle.
The lifestyle
of music is crazy. Yeah. Hey, listen, I know why y'all want to be rappers. Come on, listen. You're not. I know what.
Music.
The lifestyle of music is sexy. It definitely is. My sister's in fashion, and I will say her lifestyle is sexy because she owns a business, but her employees' lifestyle is not. So I get it. Yeah. So I get
it's
it.
Not even sports. The business of sports. That's cool.
It's but it's not sexy. They not having it like us.
Nah,
you know what I mean? Hey, listen, you wanted to be sexy in the background? Come on over here to music. Come on over to so wait. So that brings me to a point. So you moved to New York for school, or you moved to New York for work?
Nah. So, like I said, at 17, I figured out it was music. Yeah. And to me, the closest thing that I knew that was doing what I felt like I could do was Puff Daddy. So I wanted to be Puff Daddy, man. I was like, yo, how can I be Puff? Right. Shit, I gotta move to New York. Fuck it. I moved to New York. So I just moved to New York to be Puff Daddy. Like that was my whole plan, was to figure it out.
My boy got the balls on him. He like, yo, what we doing? All right, I'm there.
I just had to figure it out. And that's when I got there. And fortunately for me, like I said, my background is marketing. I fell into a lot of marketing companies that helped me pay the bills because, New York was a rude awakening as far as it's not open like Atlanta. Like Atlanta is still one of the few places you can go meet the CEO of a Fortune 500. Yeah. An entry-level person. You could be having dinner with a check writer, a president. But in New York, they so closed off, and you got to first get past security, like real security.
The real security, right. Ain't no securities here. Yeah.
Ain't no somebody walk down and let you in.
Right.
Not in New York. New York, you got to actually be on that guest list. Security got to vet you and all that. So that was a learning lesson to continue to hustle and figure it out.
Yeah.
And get in. And I think people sometimes get into a situation and don't realize you get into that situation to leverage it to get to where you're trying to go.
Right.
And figure that out. So that's what it was for me. It was like, okay, I can work with these brands. I know a lot of artists want to deal with brands. Let me figure that out and then leverage that to work with the artists. And
use the connector is what you're doing now. You always been a connector.
Yeah, that has always been the plan to build it out. So
yeah.
That's what
So in order to support yourself, you were an entrepreneur. You were doing like independent marketing for certain companies.
Between that, I've always been what I like is an intrapreneur in a sense because I've always had some type of job.
Right.
And I was doing sales at the time with AT&T.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get into that marketing field with them to do entertainment marketing because the time I was in New York, that's when the iPhone came out.
Yeah.
So it was like, yo, if you get access to the iPhone, you was plugged in.
Right.
So I had early access to the iPhone, so all the execs came to see me.
Yeah.
And then from there, it was like, oh, okay, maybe I can get into AT&T's entertainment field, but it's not music. It's not sexy. They don't look at it like that.
First and foremost, we got to drop a bomb because you just broke a word on here. Intrapreneur. Now, I know what that word means. You know what I mean? Because I'm really out here. I'm really like that.
Yeah.
But let's tell the viewers what an intrapreneur is.
It's somebody that they work within a
business.
In a business, but then they have their own business as well.
Yeah.
And so they do both. They build it. So I have a whole business. I have business accounts. I run things through my tax ID, but then I also get a W-9, W-2 for working for somebody as well.
Got you, right?
I do both.
Exactly. So he just broke a word on here, man. I want y'all to know that. I want y'all to understand what that is and understand that you can do both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So how did you get connected to the outside company? Like, how did you get that outside work? Was it through having the plugs on certain things like the iPhone? Is that what it was? Between
that and just seeing the need for certain things. So when if I would go to an event, then I would talk to somebody and I would try to get to meet the brand managers. And then from there, I would try to meet whoever was the decision maker for the brand or the decision maker for the label.
Yeah.
And understanding how that works. And because I had the relationships with people who were the brand check cutters, I knew how to bring that together. Right. But then I also learned a lot too. I felt like each internship I had in New York I interned at a cool company called Team Epiphany that's still around.
Okay.
And I just saw how they would lay out strategy and make a business a real business.
Yeah.
And then I started working for Fader. Like the company Fader has a parent company called Cornerstone. And I used to work at Cornerstone. And I used to hate math, but they had an internship in accounting. And I was like, shit, I got to figure it out. So I interned in the accounting department for like a year, understanding accounts payable, accounts receivables, all that stuff.
Damn.
So then I understood.
You figured it out.
Yeah.
You that guy who take the job without knowing how to do it and then figure it out as you go.
Figure it out because why not? Like you're gonna waste opportunity, and at some point you gotta leverage certain things. You gotta be real with yourself and be like, you know what? There's just certain places that we don't see us.
Right.
But they'll want us in the room.
They need us.
They need us in there.
Yeah.
So if it's like accounting, all right, cool. I still allow me to do all the cool stuff that they did.
Right.
But I got to understand why you got to pitch to a brand in August and September.
Right.
Don't wait till Super Bowl January to try to pitch somebody. Because their quarter closes for like this fiscal year closes at the end of September. So if you're not already pitching the brand for 2023, it's not going to happen.
It's over with. Yeah.
You end up catching all the money that somebody maybe fell out of a brand or something didn't happen. But the real money that's allotted, it's being allotted right now.
Exactly. That's that entrepreneurship. Like you're learning from within the business.
Yeah.
Bro, first of all, what I love about this show, I just want to give this show some flowers. Not me personally, this show. It's like you get to sit back and listen and learn how to be successful. Yeah. You get to see the mind. Okay, what were they doing? Why did they do that? How did they do that? You know what I mean? Like, who would have took an accounting job not knowing how to be an accountant? Who would have did that? The person that's hungry. Yeah. The person that said, I'm gonna figure this out by any means necessary. I'm trying to get to where I'm trying to go.
Oh, you got
and then you ended up learning so much valuable things. You just broke out like Bro, this is why you run for president, man. Go ahead. Mayor. I am nominating Jason Reddick for the next mayor of Atlanta.
That is some politics. Politics is hard, bro, because if I had access to move things like I wanted to, yeah. But politics, man, is...
But that's how you get the access.
And
that's how you get the... I was talking to a retired judge the other day, man. I'm fortunate enough to be in some circles myself. Yeah. And I was talking to a retired judge, and he asked me just a point blank question. He said, "Are you involved in politics?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm not really involved in it. I'm still, young, hustling." And he was like, "Well, it's going to come a point in time where you're going to open your eyes and realize everything is politics."
Yes.
He's like, anything you want to do involves politics. And he was like, the sooner you wake up and realize that, the more successful you'll become faster.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? And so that's what the judge told me.
That's true.
And so I'm telling you, my brother, you have a future. I'm voting for you.
I appreciate it. That's so far down the road, bro. Like, yeah, we'll see. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. I get into those type of things, like different shows like that. Yeah, I get into all that.
All right, so boom. So you moving and shaking in New York. So what was the next? So you told us about 2 internships. Were there more internships after that?
Not in New York. No. At that point, then it was like, family figuring out next moves. So I was like, you know what? Let me move back to Atlanta. Okay. Because at this point, and it's interesting.
You were married at that time. You saying family?
Yeah. So
did you meet your wife in New York?
No. Okay. I met her here. She came here from Philly.
Okay, got you.
So from there, it was like, let's figure out the next move, because New York isn't, it's not cheap.
So your wife moved with you to New York?
Yeah.
All right, wife. Shout out to wife. You know what I mean? Down for the hustle.
It's not, but New York's not cheap, especially if you're not from there. You don't know anybody. Like, I knew people, but it's different when you have family. All my family was here. So I was like, all right, let me figure this out, especially kids and things like that. So I was like, all right, it's time to move back to Atlanta. I've learned a lot. I stayed in New York for 6 years. I learned a lot, met a lot of people, figured it out. And I will say, I think everybody should experience New York long term, because the speed of New York will get you on your hustle.
Right. It'll set you on the right track.
Yeah, like I remember coming back and just trying to walk in the mall and being pissed because everybody was moving slow. In New York, you got to be on your move. Like, if you're moving slow, you're going to get ran over.
Right.
So I just remember, like, I was moving at a different pace almost.
Right.
Because it's so much faster.
Yeah.
And so I think everybody should experience that, just because it teaches you something, like, go get it, in a sense.
Right.
And that's what I enjoyed about New York.